Today's video is about line bikes. Bought a real life line bike in here. Very stupid. Don't know why I've done this, but I regret it after we went up in the lift. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about line bikes. How line bikes have taken over London and become the most convenient way to get around this city in a short space of time. And it's taken them 5 years to do it. Why is it when I check on Google Maps how long it will take me to get there by cab, how long it will take me to get there by car, how long it will take me to go there by bike? Most of the time now, I'm finding, especially from the journey from my house to my studio, this is the quickest way of transport. So I'm gonna stop being an idiot, take this outside because I could probably get in trouble for bringing this in the building. And then, actually, no way, is it gonna let me end the ride here? I don't wanna end the ride here, it's letting me end the ride here, that'd be silly. But I'm gonna bring this thing back downstairs and then we're gonna answer all of the questions, all right?
So how have line bikes taken over London? We're gonna do a deep dive into this. We're gonna look at everything. We're gonna take a look at which company was the first one to come into the UK, how laws favored these companies, why in London you're allowed to rent an electric scooter, but if you've got your own personally owned one, it's illegal for you to be riding it on public roads. Why a lot of these companies have gone bankrupt is the reason why Lime is just so their competition's dying. Lime is one of the few e-bike, e-scooter rental companies that has been consistently profitable. So profitable that they're looking to launch their IPO. Their initial public offering, for those of you that don't know, they're going to be listed on the stock exchange. And I'm making this video because I'm doing my research into this anyway, because when they do announce their IPO, it might be worth a buy. Because today when I woke up, I didn't feel like driving. Right? I wanted to come to the studio. It's my day off. I'm like, yo, I don't feel like driving today. I don't feel like paying for parking during the day. I just want to get to the studio. So I look on Bolt. Bolt is a cab app. Bolt used to be my favorite cab app. When traffic isn't bad, from my house to my studio, it's like a 25-minute drive. If you go fast, I've done the drive in 16 minutes before. But the cab price was £33 at 1 o'clock, bro. What is that? And I've noticed that a lot more with these cab apps, Uber included. The only two I use is Bolt and Uber. The prices are ridiculous. And if you look back, I think the golden days of cab apps, ride-hailing apps, was around lockdown times. Not in lockdown times, before lockdown times. When you had rides like Captain, Via Van, if you guys remember these apps. Back then, the driver wasn't complaining about how much they were getting paid, and we weren't complaining about what we were paying. The rides were reasonably priced. Even without using discount codes, which a lot of people abuse, the rides were reasonably priced. Well, you guys may know me. You know I was somebody who used to be on my electric scooter a lot, always posing on my electric scooter. I was one of the people that helped make it trendy back in lockdown times. It's not too trendy now. It doesn't appeal to me anymore. I haven't rode one in years. Now we're on the Metropolitan Police website, and here they tell you about e-scooters and electric bikes and the laws. Because my uncle, Rasta, he was telling me from time when I had my electric scooter, he's like, you see, they're cracking down, because there was a period of time where the police were cracking down on electric scooters. And what they would say to you is, where's your insurance? Because they class it as a motor vehicle. Obviously, motor vehicle, you need to insure, need to be registered with the DVLA, etc. Nobody's doing that for a £500 electric scooter, all right? But it's actually because of the Road Traffic Act 1988. So it's a law that's been in place that is the reason why with electric scooters, e-bikes, you can't, what I'm saying? It's a law that's been in place since 1988. Are we going to read this? No, but that's just the reason, innit? It's not currently possible, still not currently possible, by the way, it's never been possible, to get insurance for privately owned e-scooters. This means it's illegal to use them on the road or in public spaces such as parks, street pavements, and shopping centers. If you use a privately owned e-scooter in public, you risk the vehicle being seized, and this actually happened to one of my cousins. This happened to my cousin. He was riding his e-scooter. This was not long ago. This was probably 2 years ago. They stopped him. This is when they started the crackdown, 2022, 2023. They were really cracking down on it. They seized this scooter. He went to court, got fined 400 quid, and he got 6 points on his driver's license as well. And there was a lot of, you know how the media gets onto things. There was a lot of articles of, electric scooters are catching fire. And there was articles saying, electric scooters are dangerous. Woman dies at crossing or something like that with electric scooter. You know what I mean? The press around them wasn't good, which for some reason made the Metropolitan Police want to come and enforce it. They started enforcing it. I remember, if you guys know, this was in Stonebridge. Yeah. If you're from the area, you'll know this. obviously it's not a regular thing, but whenever there's a police checkpoint, they pop up in the same areas. You know, if they have a police checkpoint where they're stopping people checking insurance and stuff like that, they do them in the same places, always in the same places, yeah? And they're completely random. It's the part of Stonebridge on the Harrow Road, near Rockies, yeah? That's where they were doing the police stop checks. I'm riding my electric scooter down there and the police are flagging me to stop. They're trying to block me and that, and I had to turn and cut through the estate. I had to cut through the estate to lose them. And this was in like 2020, bro. This was like lockdown times, innit? When I didn't even just have to worry about them trying to give me points and take my scooter. I'm worrying about them maybe saying, why are you out? You're gonna get a fine, you know, like that nonsense. Even though I'm wearing a COVID mask right now, part of my free will. I wasn't wearing this mask when they were telling me to wear it. For the people who say, oh, this NPC, this guy doing this, that, you know, it symbolizes why you wearing this, bruv? Because I want to, okay? I want to wear the mask. Why is this such a big question? Like, I want to wear the mask. Nobody's forcing me to wear the mask. It's I'm exercising my free will. Now, they don't talk about e-bikes, but I'll show you the law for e-bikes. But this is exactly what happened to my cousin. £300 fine, 6 penalty points, no insurance, £100 fine, and he had to pay court fine as well for not just accepting, you know what I'm saying, what the police said. He's like, nah, I'm taking it to court. Because he really thought, like, you really think in court you're going to have a case with these strict liability offenses, bro? Like, if you can avoid court, just try and avoid court. Because it's brutal, bro. It's brutal. It's brutal. I got caught driving with no insurance when my girlfriend was suicidal, bro. I explained this in court, you know, thinking this must be a special reason. And then they ended up deciding, no, it wasn't a special enough reason. You could have just called the police. And I said, well, respectfully, when the police had me pulled over and I'm on the phone to her and I'm telling them what's going on, none of them gave a shit. None of them asked anything. None of them said anything, bro. Like, and what is a paramedic going to do when you get what I'm saying? That wasn't a good enough reason. So, like, with these strict liability offenses, bro, bro, just avoid court if you can, because you got to pay extra to avoid the court fees. You got to pay extra to the court because you took it to court as well. It's just like, bro. Hey, my people, if you could leave a like on the video, join my Discord. We're doing a giveaway in my Discord. And also, it's a great way to be connected with me. We're going to start doing calls on Discord, just where we're just talking. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what can come out of conversations, bro. I'm going to try and start doing that weekly on the Discord where we just talk. You know, it's like, you have a question for me. You have something you want to say. You have something you want to discuss, something you want to debate. Let's just talk, bro. Let's just talk, all right? That's how greatness happens, just from conversations. And also, guys, be sure to follow my Instagram. I'm going to turn my Instagram into a culture page. It might be it now. It might not be in the next couple of days, but I'm going to start posting regularly on Instagram, you know, posting people's music, posting news, you know, posting stuff about the culture on my Instagram with my take on it, and I'm the man behind it. So follow up my Instagram, guys. It's going to be worth a follow. And like the video, please, guys. Thank you very much. Love, peace. It was only in 2015, we're not reading all of this, but I'll summarize it for you, where they changed the law with e-bikes. So they can have a maximum power output of 250 watts. The maximum speed you can reach on them while it's assisting you electrically is 15 miles an hour. 15 mph, 25 kilometers an hour. And you getting a boost, an initial boost, a lift off, you can only get a lift off of a maximum of 4 miles an hour. And I think that's stupid, because if there's someone, like, you know what I'm saying, that defeats the whole purpose of somebody who maybe they don't have proper use of their legs, being able to use this thing as a mode of transport. You know what I mean? Like, could say it's a form of discrimination, you know? You can't discriminate against people just because of a disability that they have. But changing a law is not easy, guys. Changing a law is not easy. There has to be some form of lobbying to push the government to change a law, because the government could be changing another law that somebody else is lobbying for. They could be doing this, that, and we're not going to be supporting the Guardian. The first company to launch electric scooter trials was Bird. Bird is an American company, I believe. Yeah, Bird was founded in Santa Monica, California. It's no surprise that Bird is bankrupt. Like, imagine trying to have these electric scooters in freaking LA. Like, bro, homeless people just use that as a stand for their tents, bro. Live, I'm no exaggeration here. I'm talking, like, for real. But Bird was the first to launch trials in the UK. It already launched in France, Israel, Belgium, Austria, and the US, and the UK came after that. It was £1 plus 20p a minute. So Bird was the first. Because, yeah, you could say, oh, they're not letting you own one privately, but they're letting these companies run it. Because with these companies, what they're able to offer is a form of order, you know, and form of regulation. And there's someone who you can hold accountable. Like, people are concerned about safety, you know, like when you're renting these things, it allows for data collection, it allows for a more regulated environment, it allows for things to be more controlled, you know, because at first it was a bit crazy before the police started enforcing, you know, not being able to ride private private scooters, private electric things. Even though when I order food after recording this, I know the Uber driver is going to pull up here on an electric bike. He's just definitely going to do that. Bunch of abandoned these scooters over there. Because Bird scooters, they were cheap. You know, like they were using literally the £500 electric scooters. With the activator on there, it probably costed them like £600. £1 activation, 20p a minute. It's not going to take that long for them to recoup their money. But in Europe, Lime, in America, I'm not sure what the Lime bikes, I think they're less because in America, you don't need to have a number plate on them. But in Europe, the bikes need to have a number plate on them. Sorry, not the bikes, the electric scooters need to have a number plate on them. And Lime's made them harder to just like, you know, take or just do silliness with. If you're using just a standard electric scooter with no bulkiness, nothing, like people are just going to vandalize them. You know what I mean? Before you can recoup. On top of that, you got staff costs, etc. All these things there. They went bankrupt in 2023 and it says the market was out of control. Costs were soaring, yet operators are obliged to keep the price of renting out their fleets low because the competition was crazy back then. The barriers to entry, obviously there are barriers to entry for me and you who wanted to start this, but the barriers to entry were not that high. It's like, okay, pattern this, pattern this, pattern this, make sure the government's good with it, follow what they want you to do, boom, you're in. They had to introduce regulations to make sure like, yo, people can't leave bikes here, leave bikes there because people don't leave. But now if you leave a Lime bike in a random place, they're going to fine you on the app and things like that. The one criticism I have for Lime that gets annoying is when I ride to an area, I don't know it's an area I'm not supposed to ride and I don't know it's an area where I'm not allowed to leave the bike. That used to piss me off. That used to really get on my nerves. The early days of growth at any cost are over. It's true because Lime has established itself as the market leader for this e-bike, e-scooter rental thing. Even Bolt electric scooters shut down in America. I think I still see Bolt scooters I don't think Bolt scooters are in London yet, but in Europe, there's Bolt scooters are everywhere in Europe. In Europe, on the Bolt cab app, like when you're in Europe, you can it gives you the option to rent scooters and Bolt bikes as well. But what I'm getting at with this is companies like Bolt, Uber used to own a company called Jump. I think there was some, you know, mixed with Lime and that, but I'm sure I think with Uber's app, you can also use it to rent e-bikes. You can also use it to rent Lime bikes. I'm not sure if they're still doing that. But these companies are taking over the whole thing. With the cabs. The cab's too expensive. Okay, you're going to rent an electric bike from us. Cab would have costed me £30 to get here. The electric bike, riding it here, costed me £6. The money's still going to them. The Lime bike was dusty. Lime bike was messed up, bro. The Lime had to change their bikes because back in the day, I'll put a video on screen now. Of me back in the day, what we used to do to the Lime bikes. And now the kids nowadays, they've got their ways of getting Lime bikes for free. But back then it was literally, bro, grab a brick, boom, 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 until it comes off, bang, you've got a free Lime bike, electric, everything. I haven't seen those Lime bikes around. They changed those very quickly. And the only thing that would happen with the Lime bikes, they started changing it where Lime bikes would now go, do-do-do, do-do-do, please leave me alone, do-do-do, do-do-do, please leave me alone. Like bikes started doing that. But before it would just go, do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. You know what I'm saying? You could ride around with that sound, but when it started going, please help me, please leave me alone right now. I'm calling the police. You know what I mean? Once it started doing that, it's like, bro, leave these bikes. You know what I mean? But even Bolt in the UK, they partnered with Forest Bikes. They only did this in the 10th of March, 2025. Forest Bikes now available on the Bolt app. Forest Bikes is one of the bikes I've never tried, never used, but that's Bolt, you know, the cab, and they know they've got the leverage. When it's 3 a.m., you're not trying to ride a Forest Bike through London at 3 a.m., bro. You're not trying to do that. I mean, if you're with the guys, maybe, but fam, no, you're not trying to do that. You're trying to get in a cab and go home. So you go on the same app to get a cab, you see a cab's £30, you're like, nah, I'll just chance it, get on a bike, boom, you pay the same, you know what I'm saying? So they've got it on lock. And as you can see here, you can rent Limes on Uber. There's other scooter rental companies as well, like Voix. They operate in the UK. I've seen Voix, I don't know if I'm saying it right, in Northampton. I don't see it much in London, but Lime is looking to do their IPO. Look at this, in February 2025, Uber-backed Lime posts over 30% bookings growth as it eyes IPO. Bloomberg, bro. I paid these guys enough, bro. I hate Bloomberg. I paid these guys enough money, bro, when I was at uni. I'm not paying you, Bloomberg, all right? Zag Daily, here we go. It's posted its best ever unaudited financial results driven by aggressive growth in cities and ridership. Revenue surged by 32%. Lime's 2024 results were a record high for the company, with revenue surging by 32% to $686 million, while adjusted earnings before interest, tax, EBDTI, earnings before interest, tax, something, and I'm sure the A means for assets that let's say I buy this camera and this camera is only useful for 5 years. Yeah, I spread the cost of this camera over 5 years. That's like an accounting tactic. Let me Google it quick, guys, because I don't want to get it wrong, but I know this. Earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. I would have never remembered that word, but I know the A is for like spreading the cost of assets over time, as long as you're using them in the business, if that makes sense. The company won over 90% of competitive permits, which is good. So that is great for their expansion plans, because people are going to want it to keep expanding. Once it goes public, it's like, cool, all these whole new investors involved, like, yep, we want growth. We want this stock price going up. Them winning permits in 90% of cities is great for growth. As if a city comes to them, they're going to be like, oh, well, London, New York, Manchester, loads of other cities, let them operate. We should let them operate. You know what I'm saying? And it shows that Lime knows how to, sweeten up the right hands for, you know what I'm saying? They know how to sweeten up the right hands to make sure they're the ones who get the permits in cities. But the market was new back then. We see this a lot with markets, bro. The hype is there. Everyone's investing. The ones that are able to attain the most market share and stay around are the winners. It's just gambling, bro, pretty much. It's just gambling, bro. It's the same everywhere. Even with AI, bro. It's just about gambling now, People are trying to tell me about AI crypto coins, bruv. Please, tell me about an AI company that's got an edge. Tell me about that, all right? Because now everyone and their mum is talking about starting AI company, things like that. But there's only going to be a few. We're either going to have a monopoly or an oligopoly. There's either going to be one that rules the world, because if you have the best AI, nobody can touch you, you're going to rule the world. Or we're going to have a bunch of oligopolies. Maybe Vanguard's going to have their AI. BlackRock's going to have their AI. But then again, they all own each other. So it's like, it's a head fuck. It's weird. It's scary. It's just about trying to pick and find the best one. And what helps with AI? What is crucial to AI? There is no AI without any data. Without our data, AI is nothing. This AI can't do shit. Can't do nothing. All right. I've always wondered when AI, because AI is still developing, it's still learning, it's still getting better. Once AI is already helping coders write code. Right now, it's at the phase where it can write lines of code, but you need to go over it and fix it. But once it gets to that point where AI is able to write code and write code quickly, effortlessly, because I think we are going to get to that point. Where is the value in software? How is software now valuable still? When I can get an AI to write me every line of code for your software in a day. If I can get, even in a week, even in a month, if I can get the AI to write me all of the code to have an app, a software like Uber. If I can get an AI that can write me that entire code in a month, better. Where's the value in Uber? Because all Uber does is take money from us and take money from the drivers. It's a middleman. They're a glorified middleman. The value is in the data they have. The data. That's where the money is. I don't know. Am I waffling? Am I just talking nonsense? Because that's what I think about. I think that's the only thing that's going to be valuable. Once AI is able to write code at a crazy rate, software is going to become less valuable, because an AI can make me my own software. It can write me the code for my own software. I can run it myself. It's just the data they have that makes them. Anyway, guys, this is a fun video. It was long, dragged out, not as structured as I hoped for it to be. But you know what, bro? This topic interested me, and I think I've covered everything. Let me make sure I've covered everything. This might be a disaster waiting to happen. Scooter startup Voir reports first profitable year in 2024 and it's already eyeing its IPO. Positive EBITDA. Yeah, we know what that is now. Okay. Earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and I forgot what the A means. I just call it assets in it. I forget what the word means. We keep it transparent here, guys, because this is a YouTube video. I could easily look up the definition, cut this out, leave that, and make it like I knew all this already, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what most man be doing on YouTube, bro. When I make my videos, there's no structure. I'm researching it as we go along. I'm just thinking about things that I've seen and read already, and I'm just like, okay, I think it's this. We're gonna make a video and see if it's this. And it turns out it is what I'm thinking. It is that. So in 2023, they were having revenues of 130 million euros. So these companies, they're struggling to become profitable. They're struggling because of the competition. I don't think many of these other companies, I think Lime's just gonna end up taking over the whole game around Europe, especially in the UK. We're talking about London. Lime's gonna take over the whole game. Voir, these lot can't even compete. Lime, nearly everybody has the Lime app downloaded on their phone. Even if I go to a place or I see a Voir and I want to ride the Voir, it's like it might say I can't take it to this area, I can't park it here, I have to download this app, sign up, you have to scan my driver's license. It's like, bro, I'm not even doing that. Let me just look for a Lime scooter. You know what I mean? There's that as well, that convenience. I think it'll be a disaster if these lot went public. I mean, they value this business at 340 million euros. There's no way that these lot are smoking crack if they valued this, because I'm sure that means $1 billion. I'm sure this means unicorn valuation. I'm sure that means they valued this company at $1 billion. Far below. That means they valued what at over €1 billion. Bro, if I had Elon Musk type money, I wouldn't buy this. I wouldn't buy this, bro. I'd invest into Lime. I certainly would not buy this, bro. I don't even know what it is, bro. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure to follow my Instagram because I'm turning my Instagram into a culture page where we're going to post everything about the culture, unfiltered. You're going to get my opinion there as well. You're going to get your up-to-date news there quickly if you don't feel like watching me on this channel, all right? Because these blog pages be going crazy, all right? They be going crazy. It's kind of a form of gatekeeping there. No disses to any of them lot. They've done their thing. They have their reasons. But me, I'm just going to make an Instagram where I'm just, on my Instagram that I have already, I'm just going to start posting whatever, bro. Even if I don't like the artist, I'm going to still post the artist music and I'm going to say what I want to say about the artist. You know what I mean? I might start running promo, but it's not going to be a thing where, oh, you're making noise, you're doing something big. You know what I mean? Like if you DM me and show me, yo, I've got this many views on TikTok in how long? I'm doing my thing. Keep an eye out for me. I'm going to post you organically. I'm not going to try and get promo off you because like you're doing something. You're making waves, bro. You need to be like, I'm going to give you your flowers for that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas most pages, bro, they ain't going to post you for free. You know what I'm saying? But this is about the culture, you know what I mean? Supporting the culture, you know what I mean? So yeah, make sure you follow my Instagram. Make sure you join my Discord if you want to get involved because we are working on expanding this network, building this network, okay? I'm building the network, bro. Like I'm now more open to talking to people. Like, bro, let's talk.